I know you guys have just released a new rack out. I'd really like to hear about that.
Yeah, so this is our newest product release that we just showed at the California Sand Sports Super Show last weekend that we just got back from. So it's actually a steering rack stabilizer. And what that does is on the stock razors, you have the tie rod, the stock tie rod that bolts to the stock rack, okay? And when you pop over a ridge and your suspension fully droops and you hit and it bumps, the actual tie rod is jarring into the steering rack, okay? So if you hit something hard enough, something's gonna give, right? So the first thing is generally the tie rod, because if you look at a stock tie rod, I mean, they're made pretty chintzy, right? So the tie rod end usually snaps, and then so everybody thinks there's some aftermarket companies that make upgraded tie rods. But the problem is once you install an upgraded tie rod, now where's the next, you're moving the weak link over, right? So now you hit the same situation, and the strong tie rod jars in the steering rack. Well, now your steering rack snaps. And after that happens, you're done. I mean, you're stranded. If you're in the middle of the dunes, or if you're in the desert or rock crawling, and you're out in the middle of nowhere and your steering rack snaps, you're done. You can't get towed back. We've tried it. I mean, that's why we've come up with this. So this is a direct bolt on, no alterations, right? So this bolts directly to the frame, and it takes 100% of the bump steer and the jarring load off the stock steering rack. So actually your steering rack is made for turning left and right, and that's what it's allowed to do now with our system. Right. And this comes with our upgraded tie rods. We use 775
billet aluminum, and FK chromoly Heims with the Teflon liner, just all top grade stuff. You know, these, like John was saying, these bolt directly in. And if you've ever broken a steering rack, you know that this thing is really worth its weight in gold. So.
Well, we broke steering racks, and like I said, you can't tow them out of there at that point. We've had to go back, we've had to rip racks off machines in the parking lot, go back up.
Exactly.
That's a great pain in the ass when you're out on the trail. So I appreciate that. And we'll go outside. They have these installed in the car. We'll get some footage of how they work, and we'll have this man explain to us exactly the ins and outs of it.
All right, so explain to me exactly how this steering system helps.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I know that when I hit a bump in my car and I hit something hard, you fold the tie rod in, you replace the tie rod in, now you're taking out steering boxes. So you've designed this to take the strain off the rack, right?
Absolutely, 100%. So is what happens, if you will, is it's like the steering rack would be your elbow and the tie rod coming in would be your hand.
Right.
And so when you hit something, the steering rack moves. It retrieves that feedback all the time.
Right.
And so basically is what our steering rack does is it stabilizes the actual stock steering rack, right? So no matter what you're hitting, it doesn't know if you're going 100 miles an hour or 5 miles an hour, and it doesn't know if you're rock crawling or if you're jumping off the top of a dune.
Right.
It doesn't know. It literally takes all the load off the rack.
Right.
So on a stock rack, right, you can grab this and you can move this thing around, and you can listen to your rack actually moving around.
Right.
So this eliminates all that load on the rack.
So the broken dumb gears that follow in there, getting them pigeon-toed and having to knock them back in, I mean, all that's over with at this point.
Gone.
So you hit something hard, it takes the blow of it, your rack stays in shape, you get to drive out.
That's correct.
I got you.
That's
I got
correct.
you. Well, on top of being useful, they're beautiful, man.
Yeah.
It's fine work, brother.
Awesome, man.
Fine work,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you, man.